Morning children. Today I am going to start geography lesson 2, latitudes and longitudes. Okay, latitudes and longitudes, locating places on the globe. Okay, so in previous classes might be you studied about latitude and longitudes. Okay, thousands of years ago, when there were no space shuttle, 1,000 years ago, there were no space shuttle or rockets to send to bring the images of the earth from the space, and the people had no way knowing about the earth, how the earth looks, what are the different features, okay, what is the shape of the earth. So people unable to know, to get the better idea about the earth, to know or to visualize it, we know that they are exactly the continent and the ocean by its spherical space. And the ancient people created the globe. So the people made globe. The globe and the first globe were built by the ancient Greek around 150 BCE. So the globe which they made, it is the accurate shape of the globe, shape of the earth. So what is the globe? What is the globe? The globe is a three-dimensional model of the earth. What is the meaning of three-dimensional? Three-dimensional means the object which have length, breadth and height. Okay, the globe is a three-dimensional. Three-dimensional means an object having three sides: length, breadth and height. For example, your compass box, your lunch box, all these are the three-dimensional model, three-dimensional object. So the globe is also a three-dimensional model of the earth in miniature, means accurate, greatly reduced size. Miniature means reduced size because it is not possible to make the accurate size of the earth. So miniature means reduced size, and it is a true representation of the earth. The globe is a true representation of the earth. Okay, and the globe is more accurate than a flat map. In map also we can see the earth, but the globe is more accurate than flat map, as it is follow the curvature of the earth, because the globe, the shape of the earth, the shape of the globe is curvature, means at the like a apple, and it also gives us correct shape and size of continent and countries. The globe can show the correct shape and size of continent and countries, and it shows the different countries, distances and the direction about distortion. And the globes are of different size and types. Okay, might be you have seen the globes in school also or in different places also. So globes are of different size and types. They are large, small and inflatable pocket globe. Sometimes you have seen the globe which we can keep in our pocket. Sometimes the globes are very large, which are kept in the school or anywhere, and some globes are small. Okay, some globes can be placed on the table. Table might be have seen in the police station or on this principal office. You can see the globes are placed on the table. Some can be suspended from the ceiling, while it is a cumbersome to carry huge globes. Okay, these maps are very easy to carry than the large globes, and it is very, these small maps are very small globes are very easy to keep in our pockets. Okay, and apart from the being used to locate places, globes are often used to plan over long distances to sea and the air route are called great circle routes. Okay, and they are also used to determine the routes of satellites. So this is the use of globe. The globe used to plan the long distance sea and the air routes are called great circle routes, and they are also used to determine the routes of satellite. Now the points of reference of the globe. On the globe some points are there. The earth spins around an imaginary line is called axis. What is axis? The earth spins. Spins means move on its axis. The movement on its axis. So what is axis? The earth spins around an imaginary line. So axis is an imaginary line on which the earth spins. That is called axis. And the earth has two end points of the axis. They are called north pole and the south pole. Okay, the two end points of the axis are north pole and the south pole. And the axis of the earth is tilted. Tilted means little bent. Tilted means little bent at the angle of 23.5 degree to the vertical. Now vertical means a straight line. So the earth is little tilted. At what angle it is tilted? Tilted means little bent. 23.5 degree. And the south pole and the north pole act as the reference point to the locate place as given in this picture. Okay, so the north pole act as a reference point to locate places on the globe. Another imaginary line running around the globe is its middle. It's called the equator. On the middle of the globe, one imaginary line running around the globe in the middle, means in the center of the globe, that is called equator. And the equator divides the earth into two equal halves. The equator divides the earth into two equal halves, the southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere. Okay, so what southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere. So the earth is divided by equator into two equal halves, northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. Above the equator, that part is called northern hemisphere, and below the equator, that part is called southern hemisphere. Okay, now relative and absolute location. So with the help of latitude we can locate the places. Okay, so what is relative location and what is absolute location? So relative location of a point on the surface is known as location in relation or another place or nearby landmark. है relative location of a point on the earth surface is its location in relation to another place. Means when we are telling the location of a place, then we are saying some landmarks. That is called relative location. Okay, so relative location of a point on the earth surface is its location in relation to another place or nearby landmark. The location which are related to landmark. Suppose where is your house? So your house is near the government hospital. So government hospital is the landmark. Okay, so your house is near the hospital. The hospital is a landmark. So that location is called relative location. For example, here is given Mina's house to the northwest of the Chennai airport. Chennai airport is the landmark, and Pune is to the south of Mumbai. Okay, now the absolute location. Absolute location of a place, its location using a recognized coordinate system formed by latitude and the longitude. And the absolute location, when we locate the place with the help of latitude and the longitude. When we locate the place by using latitudes and the longitudes, that location is called absolute location. And relative location, when we locate the place with the help of another landmark, that is called relative location. And when we locate the place with the help of latitudes and longitudes, that is called absolute location. The latitudes circle the earth horizontally, while the longitudes circle the earth vertically. Okay, so latitudes and the longitudes are the imaginary line. Latitudes circle the earth horizontally and the longitude circle the earth vertically. When these two sets of line cross each other at a right angle, that form a grid. Okay, what is grid? When the two sets of lines, two sets of line means when the latitude and longitude, when the latitudes and the longitudes crisscross to each other at a right angle. Okay, that is called grid. And the latitudes and longitudes are used to accurately plot the location of a place on the surface of the earth. Okay, now what is latitude? The lines of latitude. The lines of latitudes are the imaginary lines. All these lines are imaginary lines that runs horizontally across the surface of the earth, and they measure an accurate distance in degrees. All these latitudes are measured in degrees, and the degrees, minutes and the second. Okay, of a point north to south. Lines of latitudes are also referred as parallel lines. The equator is the 0 degree latitude. The equator is the 0 degree latitudes, and it's divide the earth into two hemispheres, northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. All the parallel lines are north of the equator in the northern hemisphere. The parallel lines which comes in the northern hemisphere are degrees at north degree north, and the latitudes which comes on the southern hemisphere measured as degree south latitude. Okay, now what are the main characteristics of parallels? The main characteristics of the parallels are the lines of latitudes run parallel to the equator. All the latitudes are parallel to the equator. They never crisscross to each other. They never met. They runs from east to west direction. First character is they run parallel to the equator. Second, they run from east to west direction. Okay, and they give north-south coordination of a place. Okay, next, they are equidistant from each other. They are equidistant means equal distance between two parallels. The distance is equal. What is the meaning of equidistance? Equidistance means equal distance. The parallels of latitudes are equal distance. Okay, it means the distance, the latitudes which are in the northern hemisphere different distance, and the latitudes which are in the southern hemisphere they are different distance. No, all the latitudes are having the equal distance from each other. Okay, and the equator is the longest parallel. Equator is the longest latitudes, and these parallels decrease in length. All these parallel as we move from equator to pole, either in the north pole or in the south pole. So these parallels are decreases in length from equator to the poles. Now, for example, in the middle, where is the equator? Next to equator, the parallels is little large. But as we move towards the pole, near the pole, the equator, the parallel, the latitude is small. Okay, and they are numbered upwards and downwards from the equator. They are numbers in degrees. Okay, they are numbered in degrees, upward and downwards from the equator, and they increase from 0 at the equator to 90 degree at the pole. Equator is having 0 degree. Equator is having 0 degree, and as we move towards the pole, the degrees, the number or the degrees is increasing. 90 degree, okay, means equator 0 degree, then next 10 degree, then 20, then 30, then 40 degree. Then near the pole it is 90 degree, sorry 0 degree. Okay, and the letter NS are used to indicate the north and small latitudes respectively. Okay, so the latitudes which comes in northern hemisphere is measured as degree north, and the latitudes which comes in the southern hemisphere is measured as degree south. There are 180 degree of the latitude, okay, on the whole, 90 in the northern hemisphere and 90 in the southern hemisphere. Okay, means equator is 0 degree, above the equator 90, all the degrees, all the latitudes are measured in degrees, 10, 20, 30, 40 till 90, and same in the southern hemisphere. Equator 0 degree, then 10, 20, 30 to below the equator. So total 180 degrees of latitudes on the globe. Now what are the important parallels? The important parallels are equator is 0 degree, first equator, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle. Okay, so these are the important parallel lines. So important parallel lines are equator 0 degree, Tropic of Cancer, it is in the northern hemisphere and its degree is 23.5 degree, and means the Tropic of Cancer is in northern hemisphere, and the Tropic of Capricorn is at the angular distance of 23.5 degree south, means the Tropic of Capricorn is in southern hemisphere. Then Arctic Circle is an angular distance, it is in its degree is 66.5 degree north, means Arctic Circle is in northern hemisphere. And next Antarctic Circle is also is in the southern hemisphere and its degree is 66.5 degree. So clear about N and S. N means north, S means south, and all these parallel help differentiate and temperature zone of the earth. All these parallel, all these important parallels, okay, they help to differentiate the temperature zone of the earth. Okay, so clear about it till here, and tomorrow I will explain about the temperate zone of the earth, the lines of longitude, characteristics of meridian and other things. Okay, thank you.